What's good? This is Marcus the Fingaz back at it again, making some music. I'm actually in the process of making a beat for this week's Producers Corner Sample Challenge. For those that don't know, the Producers Corner is a group on Facebook where they do weekly sample challenges. I believe this is sample challenge 175. I've actually started working on it, but just to give you guys an idea of the type of challenges that they do every week, I'm going to try to run to the page here on Facebook. The Producer's Corner is run by a guy named Chris McManus. This is the 175th week, I believe. They've been doing it nonstop, as you see. What they do is they post on this page here and also on the Producer's Corner page on Facebook. The sample for the week. Producers can go there, flip the sample, and then every Saturday or Sunday they go live and they just listen to all the samples. Sometimes they get like 60 entries, so and they're live for like 4 or 5 hours. So it's really fun to see how different producers flip the same sample. So this week's sample is Janko Nilovic and the Soul Surfers. I probably messed up that first name. Maze of Sounds full album. I actually started already working on this using Beatmaker 3 here on the iPad. So I've already imported the sample and chopped up the sample, the part that I wanted from the sample. So you actually missed that part, and I was like, maybe I should just start recording these again. I was doing these, recording them as I made them in the past. I'm going to start doing that again. But you missed me chopping up the sample. But what I will do is play what I have, the chop so far, and I'll tell you a little bit of what I'm thinking. I'm going to continue making the beat, and we'll go through that whole process. Here we go. Repeats. So I do have on the sample itself, I have Pro Q3 filtering out some highs and lows from the EQ there. I have this Woots dynamic hype enhancer. Just I think I'm taking out some lows, adding some compression on the mids and highs there, and then I have some delay from Bliss. It's spelled Blias, but it's pronounced Bliss. I have a delay on there, just very 8%. Using the filter delay preset with the dry wet really low there. So I know what type of beat I want to do. I want to do a like dance hall Afro beat type of rhythm. I imported some sounds here, and we're just gonna keep building. The sounds I'm using are from the Drum Digger sample libraries. Definitely look up Drum Digger. All these sounds are free. They release a kit, I believe, every month. So definitely check them out and download some of those sounds. So we're gonna try to build out the beat here, and here we go. So I'm just trying to come up with an idea. I might just play the whole drum beat out. Let's do. So right there, I'm just adding some percussion. I do have this clap I might bring in. On the second go around. So I'm gonna duplicate the part I just did, and then the second time around, I'm gonna add the clap. loading out the drums right now. I do hear the drums are a little laid back, a little bit too laid back for my taste. So what I like to do when I hear that is move the drums just a hair off beat, but then they almost sound like they're lined up to the beat, so it gets kind of weird. But to do that in Beatmaker 3, what I have to do is erase what's on the downbeat of the first bar, and I might get a little technical with the music theory here, but I have to erase that first beat so that I can nudge everything else back a little bit. I can't nudge anything before bar 1 because there's nothing before bar 1. So what I'm going to do here is select all these MIDI events here, and I'm going to set my resolution of the grid to 64th notes, and then I'm going to move everything back just a little bit, and then you'll hear how they hopefully should line up on the beat. So you might not be able to hear it, but it's just a little bit more lined up on the grid and on the beat. So that's the drums. Actually, I want to add the hi-hat. So I think I'm going to I don't want to do I don't want to make it too busy, so I might just do a little rhythm on the hi-hat. And actually I need to start. There we go. Basically the whole song. I'm gonna add some percussion. So one of my favorite percussion elements to use, or percussion apps to use here in Beatmaker 3 is Skaka, I believe is how you say it, Skaka, by Clevgrand. So what I want to do is make sure I don't have any effects on this bank that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to go down to Clevgrand right here, and Skaka. Skaka is the plugin, show plugin. And basically, let me hook my keyboard up because I don't have my keyboard hooked up through the MIDI. So basically what I can do is hold down, it's one of my favorite percussion plugin effects. What you can do is hold down a note and it'll play that rhythm. So the top left corner tells you the note to hold down for that rhythm. I want to find something, maybe we'll go with pop. We'll see what pop. And you can also program your own rhythms in there. I like to find one that hopefully works along with the tempo and things that I'm doing. Let's play it. What I want to do is go in here and edit, see if we can edit the tambourine. And actually I'm gonna bring this a little earlier, and we're gonna have this on the bar 17. Let's see. Yeah, so add some of that percussion, just a little vibe. I might turn that down. Hit save. So next up is the bass. So I have a number of basses that I enjoy using 808s, either bringing in 808s or using the Audio Kit 808 app, or using bass plugins such as Agonizer or Bassalicious. For this one, I think I'm really feeling either Agonizer or Bassalicious. I don't want to use the 808, so we're gonna load. I have preset banks that I have saved here. I'm gonna load Bassalicious 2 as the plugin chain that I have there, because I have go-to EQ, I have my low-fly dirt going on, and also another EQ filtering out some highs. But I like to use that, and I'm going to unload Bassalicious, and we're going to try to see if we can make it work with Agonizer by Numerical Audio and Jacob Hack. Show plugin. And that already sounds like a bass you would use on like an Afrobeat dance hall type rhythm. Let's see. See if I can find another sound here. I like to browse through the presets and then find a decent preset and maybe tweak from there. Like this sound, it's actually I think designed for like EDM. You hear some of that wobble going on, but on this beat I actually like the way it's sounding, so I'm just going to use that as is. It's called WUB, W-U-B. It's in actually it's WUB Atmosphere, so it's number 1. So we're gonna try to come up with the bass line for it. So I like that. You actually hear the bass and the sample coming through a little bit. I might filter that out, but I actually like that it's doing some of those passing notes and tones from the bass that I just played. Actually, on the second part, I'm hearing a different bass line in the samples. So I'm going to try to play along with that. to duplicate that. And I think I just want to add maybe, because the sample is actually doing a lot, so maybe I'm going to add a piano. Y'all know how I do. I'm going to use, right now I'm using this retro piano, and I have some great presets by AudioKit. So it's basically like a filtered, dirty piano that you can merge between two different, like a grand piano sound and I think it's a CS80. Yeah, CS80. You can merge the different sounds and effects in there. I might just go with this straight intimate piano. Like a wider piano. Let's see. Might go with that. It just has some width to it. Let's stick with that for now, and I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. And let's go back to the beginning. I'm just gonna play along with it and see what happens. Make sure I have the piano track selected. I'm going to turn quantize off when I'm recording the piano part, because some things I want to play in between the actual rhythm. Here we go. So actually, it's actually sounding. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Ravenscroft 2. So I'm going to add piano from Ravenscroft 275 here. One of my favorite pianos on iOS, between that and Retro Piano from AudioKit. Those are my two favorite pianos on iOS piano VSTs. I don't want it too poppy. I want it a little bit more soft. Something like that, but not as much reverb. Let's see how that goes. I think I like that. Might turn that up a little bit. So we're going to use this Ravenscroft piano. Here we go. I don't. Right now, I'm just in that whole like piano show off, mode. I'm gonna get out of it one day. But yeah, so that's basically, I think that's basically it. I'm gonna show you all how I would mix this on the iPad. So what I would do, what I'm doing right now is merging all the tracks so that all of my sort of little cuts and things are all one long file. That makes it easier for me when I export the session because I back up my session. So when I'm done creating this track, I'm gonna back it up. I'm gonna export all the files. I'm gonna export the session. I back it all up on Dropbox and also on an external hard drive just in case something happens here. I have those backups. But what I'm going to do before that is clean up this session so it doesn't take up as much space. So the drums, I'm going to delete, hopefully, sometimes this does mess me up, but hopefully it doesn't. Everything but the last pattern in each of these tracks because all those patterns are now merged into that last pattern. So it's just one long take. And I also may edit the drums a little bit just because... just to have some variation. So let's see. And also I think I'm going to turn some stuff down. So I'm just going to do some basic mixing here. Need much. I'm actually gonna leave it like that.
And the fingers on the beat. And the fingers on the beat.
That's the tag that I throw on most of my beats. I won't say all of them.
And the fingers on the beat.
But if I feel like it, if it works, if it fits, or if it makes sense, we'll see how it works on here.
And the fingers on the beat. And the fingers on the beat. And the fingers on the beat. And the fingers on the beat.
So what I'm doing is tuning the actual snare hit, rim hit there, to make it sound like it's part of the key. It's kind of just something I hear in my ear. You can almost tune a drum sound to make it fit the key of the track you're in. Like to me, the kick drum actually sounds like it sort of matches and would layer well in the track.
Fingers on the beat.
So I'm going to use this motion EQ to see if I can add some effects in at some point. And you can see how I might automate something like this motion EQ. Sometimes I go to Elf Audio and automate that to add some variation to the track. So let's see. So I really like this preset that I have in here called Motion Sickness. I spelled motion like in with the word ocean. Sickness. But the way I automate it is you can automate switching between presets. So usually I go to default, which is basically nothing going through this plugin. And then I jump up to my motion sickness at certain points throughout the song. And then I can go back to default, which is nothing. So I will set up recording automations here in Beatmaker 3. We'll just play it through and you can see how I record automations using the Bleus app. yeah, that's basically it. And then I'm gonna leave it there. What I'll do is I will show you how I record. I also record all the MIDI tracks into audio, just so I have them on the session. Do I really need to do it like that? Actually, I do, because sometimes when I reopen sessions, sometimes the plugins don't open up correctly, or they open up to another sound and not the sound that I recorded. So I do like to record at least the sounds in the audio. The drums I don't usually bounce to audio, but I do export everything to audio. So it's very confusing. If you have any questions on my process, feel free to reach out and say, ask me what I did or why I do certain things. So what I do is I go into each of these and I rename in each track so that I know what the audio file is when it records. So what I'm doing right now is copying the sample name so that I can name this the name of the sample. I take out that 003. That's the pad that I use on that one. This one I'll just put Skaka. I might put Perk. And the last one is Ravenscroft piano. Might put piano, and let's say Ravenscroft. I need to come up with better ways of naming things. I usually put the plugin name and then the instrument, but I think I need to start putting the instrument first and then the plugin name, because that way I can see immediately it's bass, sample, percussion plug. With Ravenscroft, because the name is so long, I don't always see it's piano, but I do know that every time I see Ravenscroft, it's a piano sound. I'm still coming up with ways to help my workflow better. And then there are two ways where I can assign the inputs to record to these audio tracks. I can hold here and do audio input, internal, and let's say that one is, I believe, Agonizer. I can do it that way. The way I like to do it is going to the mixer tab here, selecting IO at the bottom right down here, and then just assigning my inputs here. So you see at the top of these audio plugins, the right 4 blue tracks are the ones I want to record to, so I can set the inputs to those specific tracks. So I know the second one here, I want to be the sample. The third one, I want to be that ska percussion, and that last one, I want to be that piano. And then also what I'm going to do during this record pass is I'm going to go to my main out. I have a lot of plugins on the main out. I have the stereo width plugin. I have this Barricade, my tone boosters, Bark filter, Versin, and Morphit for my headphones that I use. If I'm using these or these headphones or whatever headphones I'm using when I'm working on music, I can set an EQ curve so that my mix is applied correctly according to the headphones I'm using. I'm hearing the audio sound. Tone Boosters Morphit is great for that. And then what I do is I turn that off when I'm ready to export everything, and I turn on the Pro L2, which is a limiter, and I have a limiter preset that I use in here. Sometimes I adjust according to how I want it to feel or the vibe of the track. So let me play through that one time. So that's sounding good. I actually might, what am I hearing? A lot of delay on that sample, so I might take some of that delay out here. I'll only have 8% going, but maybe I'll knock that down to like 5. You hear it's gone, so it doesn't need a lot. And I also can take down the feedback, so let's take that down to 20. There you go. I just don't want it to cut right off immediately. I just want a little bit of effect there. You can use reverb or delay, just something to not keep the sound too much in your ear, but just something that you have like ear candy. So I'm going to record this. Let's see where it ends with the piano at the end. So what I'm looking for is when the sound stops, and that's where I'm going to stop recording so that all the files are the same length. And I will say 86, bar 86. So here we go. This is going to be, what did I call this? I think I called it Amaze, A space M-A-Z-E, because the sample was called something like Maze of Sounds, which is a great, the sample, the full album, there's a lot of stuff in there. Sometimes it's hard for me to choose what part I'm going to use. Hopefully the next time I do this, I'll show you how I find parts of the sample that I decide to use on my beat. But here we go. This is going to be the playthrough of Amaze. Shout out to Producer's Corner for these sample challenges every week. So here we go.
fingers on the beat.